everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in the SCP, the Serpent's Plan, Part 4. Today is June 2nd, 2022, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners, but also each and every single one of our audiocast listeners as well. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audiocasts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions to ask myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us at patreon.com/indooradventures. Easiest way to ask us those questions, of course, is to join us on our Discord. The link can be found in the Twitch chat to the side or in this video, or description of this video or audio cast down below. One of these days I will get this intro down pat, but today is not that day. But for the meantime, let's say that you want to help support a good cause. You enjoy helping support the show. You want to help get some brand awareness out there. Maybe showcase awesome sick merch. We got you covered. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillow, shower curtains, aprons, clocks, and we also have face masks. I don't know where mine is on my desk because I was out.
GB's got you covered.
Yeah, GB's got me covered. Quite literally, in fact, because it's the Tia mask. That's right, it's the mask that is the symbol of Tiamat upon it, designed by our very own Cyberwolf 1201, and all of the proceeds of our merch is currently going to help Doctors Without Borders. So, if you would like to help support a good cause, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So, hey, PB, who you playing today?
Hi, I am playing Maggie, who is a mechanic and very, maybe a little angry. She has she/her pronouns and is very excited to have an off day.
Excellent, and I'm the indoor adventurer, he/him, and today I shall be playing as Bucky Howard. We both use he/him, and I'm more of like a sidekick, chauffeur. Need somebody to drive.
Greybeard and Greybeard's Tavern, and today I'll be playing Klifton Kai. He's the mystic yogi, and he uses he/him, and I use he/him.
Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. I'm playing as Revna today. We both use she/her pronouns, and she is a two-fisted tribe member.
And I am Mediaflare, they, them. I'm going to be playing your keeper, or game master in other universes. I'll be narrating through some things, and let's just slide right back into the game. It's been a few weeks, or, like 7 seconds, depending on who's telling time. All right. All right, this is incident or field report number 4 of SCP-6965. As a recap, since this is a new editor taking over the document, to explain what these anomalies are and why they are being observed. SCP-6965 was a collection of anomalous individuals that exited out of SCP-3008, an exit to an IKEA that seems to lead to an infinite network of warehouses across the multiverse. Upon exiting the facility, as well as the other 14 persons so far who have come through SCP-3008, they were detained and observed for a momentary quarantine before being offered amnestics or a job within the facility. Dr. Palmer, the site director, recommended that SCP-6965 1 through 4 be offered a working position as a research team / mobile task force. They were reassigned to Site 11, located in Lansing, Michigan, and were moved from the previous site of SCP-3008 to there. There's also some things in the former site that need to be noted for further research into SCP-6965. The former security guard, Colonel Mathers, was reassigned to Site 19, where they were, unfortunately, a casualty in an attempt to recover some personnel near the Flesh That Hates. Dr. Palmer also was discovered to be an infiltrating member of an opposing faction and has since been terminated. Whether or not they were intentionally supplying or encouraging SCP-6965 to become dissidents or disruptive within the facility is yet to be determined. But the O5 Council agreed that observation of the anomalies while they spent their time on Site 11 would be wise. Another thing to note, the last person to have their hands on SCP-1508, also known as Help Mikey the Helper Bot, was SCP-6965-3 is Maggie? I don't have any notes in front of me. 6965-3 was the last one to interact with SCP-1508 before it became inactive. At first, scientists believed that it was an issue with batteries, but it seems that the robot has either lost the will to operate or has expired beyond its operational parameters and has since become inactive and is now classified as neutralized. Upon being received at the facility of Site 11, they were greeted by the Site Director and Chief of Securities. Those would be Dr. Jordan Lee Graham and Major Jason Iden, respectively. They were given a tour and allowed time on site while they prepared for mission assignment. These are the logs of any security or audio video footage that we have of the first few weeks of 6965's time at Site 11 before we transition over to the incident report. Cool. So the four of you, as we last left off, you had just gotten off the car to... we're in the wrong sounds. There we go. You just got out of the convoy to Site 11, and you were pulled into a like underground motorcade kind of thing underneath the airport in Lansing. And there was a few security guard members there, as well as two very official-looking people. One older feminine doctor, and one like middle-aged salt and pepper haired military general type. And as the other people who were riding with you start to kind of stretch their legs and unload equipment and refuel their vehicles, the two very official looking persons walk over to the four of you and they introduce themselves. I see you're the new arrivals. I am Dr. Jordan Lee Graham, Site Director. This is Head of Security, Major Iden. And welcome to Site 11. Would you like a tour, or I don't know how tired you might be? Would you like to be sent to your lodgings first?
I believe lodgings first, and then onward to a tour. That way we can feel more settled and different headspace.
Does it sound appropriate for the rest of the team?
Yeah, stretching my legs was number one priority, but this is fine.
Sharp nod.
Very well. Well, if you'll follow me into the elevator, we will get on the monorail and head over to lodging so you can get some rest. If that is the case, I'm going to have to ask that you remain in your lodgings for a few hours. I have some things to attend to before I have another window for a tour. Would that be all right with you?
Yeah, Bucky nods.
Yeah, sounds good.
very viable. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Very well then, follow me. And the major and the doctor head down a hallway, and there's this underground monorail. If for those of you who come from universes that have subway systems, it's not super peculiar or anything. It's a subway, you know, underground train what leads from point A to B and sometimes C. The elevator slides up and a door opens. Not the elevator, the monorail slides up and a door opens. It seems to be automated, as there's no one operating the monorail as you get into it. Once you do, all hop in and the doctor takes a seat. The monorail begins to move again. There's a single, like, 2-letter and 1 symbol light at the head of the train when you're inside, and it says like A-B. And as you get in, it transitions from A-B to B-C, and it seems to be indicating like which sections are being moved from one to another. There's not a lot of talking from the scientist or the major, as it seems that besides the tour itself, they don't really have much they have need of you just yet. The two of them kind of just, one of them is playing on their tablet, the doctor. The major has been kind of studying all of you. They seem to be kind of gauging who you are. Either that or just cannot get resting assessment face out of their system. And after about 90 seconds of this train running probably somewhere between 60 and 100 miles an hour, comes to a lurching stop, and the doors open. The site director and chief of security both stand up, gesture as they lead you off the train and down a few hallways. They don't mention much, but you assume that they probably will explain more along the tour itself. But eventually you get to a hallway that says, we just went to section C. All right. Site dormitory block 8 through 14. Oh, sorry. No, we went to B. Okay. So site dormitories block 1 through 7. And as you are sent down this hallway, there are a series of doors that have what looks like someone like cut out pieces of paper to slide into name placards, you know, like that temporary, we're going to get a Ron's name put here eventually kind of deal. As it says, on one door, it says, SCP 6965, and the door opens to show a mini hallway, kind of like a joined dormitory system, where there are 4 individual dorms, as well as like a central living area with like a single burner stove and like a mini fridge. There is a sink with just one faucet, and the 4 rooms individually. As they open the door and gesture towards it, the site director, Dr. Graham, she says, "All right, feel free to unload your stuff here. Sit back and relax. Pick whichever room you like. I don't particularly care. I have some things to do for about 3 hours. If you can do us all a favor and stand by here until then, we'll give you a tour afterwards, and I think you'll be able to move around a lot more after that."
Thank you, Doctor.
Sounds good.
Very well. And without any other word, the two of them turn and the door slides shut, and you hear some sort of mechanical lock kick in. And the 4 of you are left alone in this room for the next few hours. You have time to breathe, talk to each other, get adjusted, maybe take a nap.
Kai will, basically say something along the lines of, anyone have a preference? I live simply, so I'll take any room that you do not want.
Yeah, Bucky's just like, first door open, looks inside. Second door open, looks inside. Third door open, looks at, like, are they all identical rooms?
Yeah, they each of the dorm rooms themselves, when you open them up, they have a single twin mattress with one of those bed frame drawer combinations. So there's two large wooden drawers that you can pull out underneath the bed. There's a small, thin closet next to it, like a dresser that looks like it can fit a total of like 1 week's worth of clothes. And then there is a false window with about 12-inch gap between the window itself and another wall, some sort of like maintenance walkway kind of deal. But there is an artificial, like really well done painting of a view from like a 4th-story building down onto like a lovely grassy hill. And there's light like illuminating off of it to make it seem like it's a kind of like early day rise. If you do like push your head against the window and look, you do see like the painting and then it's just, you know, concrete and a couple of caution lines on the ground for people or something. But otherwise, they all look exactly the same.
Bucky definitely makes a comment about like, "Whoa, we're so high up." And then he's gonna ask if nobody has any preference for rooms, and there's 7 rooms here in this stretch, or only the 4?
The 4 rooms, and then there's like a central like kitchen-y area, and there's a bathroom, of course.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that Bucky is gonna take the back left. So if it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, he would be in slot 3.
All right, Revna's gonna take the room farthest from Bucky.
Should be slot 1.
She literally sits and waits until he picks a room and then chooses the opposite one.
I feel like there's like, you go to choose the opposite one and you and Maggie have this like
moment.
Like there's that like standoff like, no, don't you fucking do this.
So Revna's in room 1, Bucky's in room 3.
I'll take the room across from Bucky.
So Kai's in
so
the one
room
that
2.
shares a wall.
I
Right,
so
so
knew it
Revna
was
and
gonna
Maggie's on
happen.
one side of the hallway, and Bucky and Kai are on the other.
Yep.
He needs his emotional
Okay.
support, Yogi.
Ah, dude,
Exactly.
that's exactly what I was hoping would happen. I'm like, okay, here it goes. I'll set this up. It was like, set. Spike. Yes.
All right. So as you are all picking your rooms and like unloading your gear, I'm gonna start with Maggie's room. You brought all of your tools with you, so you have a lovely array of different wrenches and like a pile of nuts and bolts. Looks like you're missing like a 14mm socket, but we can worry about that. But as you're like emptying out your stuff, you realize that you have something in your work pants or your pocket that you did not have before. And you pull out from the same pocket that Mikey grasped onto before you left the facility. There's an old school thick external hard drive. It does not have any name brand written on it, but it does have taped to it with Scotch tape. A note card folded up. And on the outside, it looks like something was written by like someone, some toddler that is literally just learning letters. But you can see from the folds that there is like a more official text on the inside of the paper itself.
I open the card and see what's written inside.
Okay. So what do you want me to read first? The well-written, what looks like instructions, or the really hastily 2-year-old note?
The really hastily written 2-year-old note.
Okay. So, and I'll copy paste this into questions for the courts in case anyone wants to see the cute misspellings. But in horribly written crayon is a note signed Mikey, and it says, "Thank you. Showed me I don't need to be a slave to the doctor. I don't have to do their work anymore. I am free as I ever or will ever be. So long for now. Mikey. And let me paste that into the question for the courts because I love horribly spelled things. On the other side of that note, there is an instruction manual for the hard drive. Step 1, connect the hard drive to your systems using a USB cable, then wait for the drivers to be installed. Step 2, once the drivers are installed, copy your artificial intelligence files to the item. Please note that the file sizes and listed hard drive space can be ignored during this step. Step 3, access to, let me minimize so I can actually see zoom more. All right. Step 3, access the external hard drive from your operating system. Please note that only Windows XP, Windows 7, and Auction House operating systems are supported. Step 4, select the file or files associated with your artificial intelligence and right-click. Then click Convert Soul. Step 5, the soul is ready for offering. Treat the external hard drive as you would any soul receptacle. Anywhere you would position a human being for offering or sacrifice is a position the hard drive may occupy during your ritual. Tips and tricks. The item is indestructible. Fire, lightning, cold, or extra-dimensional ripple effects will not damage the item. Once the soul has been taken, the item is available for future use, following the same steps as above. Warning! Do not attempt to use the item in any ritual that requires bloodletting from the offering. We are not responsible for deaths which result from such misuse of the item. And that's all you see on that card.
You see, as Maggie reads the first part, Mikey is writing, and you start seeing like a thug tear almost fall, but like she keeps it in, and then but like she, you know, a little watery in the eyes, and then she starts reading the next part, and she's, you know, a little confused, wipes the eye, keeps reading. And then just more and more like incredulous as she reads the thing. And then she reads soul and she almost puts down what she's reading, like almost like drops it, but she keeps reading it out of morbid curiosity. And once she reads it and she's like, the what rituals? And the what? And she like hastily in the way, not like trying to hide a secret, but hastily in the way of just like, I don't want to look at this anymore right now, sort of way. I fold up the note again and I put it on the nearest surface. And I look at the hard drive, and does it look like any other hard drive you would see from a computer?
Yeah, it's got a description of what its generic hard drive kind of looks like. Where did it go? Yeah, I have, once again, many SCP tabs open because I roll like that. It is a MSI brand external hard drive. So it's just like generic black plastic. It's got like 500 gigabyte written on the side or embroidered on the side or whatever. But beyond that, if you were to slide it in between 2 other external hard drives, it looks like you own 3 Walmart brand hard drives.
I put that away from, just like in a different drawer away from my tools. I'll just store it away for now. Mostly just so the tools don't accidentally magnetize it or anything. Mm-hmm. And Maggie's just gonna go sit down on her bed now. Lay down maybe, stare at the wall for a while and just contemplate that she had some sort of effect on this creepy robot that she really spent a lot of time trying not to get attached to. And also the implications of what this means. As to why I'm assuming Mikey would have given this to me. Mm-hmm. Because as far as I'm aware, Mikey's fine and dandy in a cell somewhere in the last place we left. So
Yeah, cute little storage case that you got it.
Yeah. So I'm just Maggie's just gonna sit there and contemplate.
All right. So Maggie stores the hard drive and kind of takes some time to think to themselves. As Bucky and Revna and Klifton all unload their gear, not knowing to them that they are fortunate in not finding any weird things in their pockets, but everyone does unload their items. Luckily, since most of you only have like the things in your pockets when you got here, there's not a lot of like packing or like reorganizing that you have to do. And so then you now find yourselves with like 2.5 hours of hurry up and wait.
Shower time. Hell yeah.
It is. Is there a community bathroom, or each little room have a bathroom?
Each room has a like half bath toilet like space enough to do that, but there is a center like shower thing that's got like 4 heads for like a communal shower or a very large private shower.
Yeah, Klifton is basically, puts stuff down, walks back out into the main room, and then if no one's out there, he'll just, half lotus it and sit on the couch and meditate for a bit.
Yeah, Revna will busy herself about getting her room in working order. Essentially just like turning all of the furniture so it faces the door. Just like really making it defensible just in case.
Nice. A little personal touch to the aesthetics.
Yep. There's a there's a handle like right next to the door for her to hang an axe on. Just within grabbing distance.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Okay. So is there anything anyone wanted to discuss in the private time, or would it mostly just be kind of trying to make the clock move faster until they come back for the tour?
Yes, that's what I'm meditating on, is temporal distortion.
Wait for 3 hours.
Yeah, Bucky is the only talky person, really, and so until they blow into the room, or Revna or Maggie come out of their room, I just pass time. I'll be in the common room in case anybody wants to talk or anything, but other than that, I can just fade out for like 2 hours, no biggie. That's easy peasy. Hell, I'll even clairvoyance some stuff if I could find my notes on how to do that. So I'll look for those while somebody else does a thing.
Okay. I'd like to assume that Bucky is also a long shower.
Oh,
probably
yeah.
like a run the hot water bill up kind of person.
Yeah, it's never been an issue before. But yeah, so he's probably in that shower for like a minimum half hour.
That does check out.
And like he's under the assumption that it's a public shower. So like he's just in there, like he's not like locking the door or anything like that to be like, no, it's all for me. Like, no, he's just there. Like, to him, like, we're all on a team. We survived the IKEA together. What's a shower between friends? Maybe somebody will come in and be like, hey, I can help you get your back, but who knows? They won't.
Really leaning into the Riverdale.
No, there's no communal showers except in the episode where Chuck. Anyways, so yeah, that's what Bucky's up to for a solid half hour minimum. But I think while he's there, he's just thinking more so about the fact that he knows of an address that he could go to where Claire is, apparently. But Dr. Palmer told him not to investigate. It was like quick to shy away. He doesn't understand why. So Bucky is like going through his head in the shower, like all of the like mental scenarios of how he can leave the facility in order to get this, but he has to come up with a clever ruse somehow to do that. And that's like the majority of the shower is him being like, what if I tell them I have to use the bathroom? No, that won't work. Like, he's doing his best to make a harebrained scheme, but he only has the hair. He has none of the brains.
Okay, make me a we'll put this under, this is an idea, so then do an intelligence check for me.
Okay. Intelligentsia. No skill, just an ability check.
Yeah, just checking your brain.
Characteristics. Okay.
When it comes to rattling your brain for either knowledge or an idea, you can use your education or intelligence.
Okay. Well, I got 59, so I failed by 9.
Okay. So it's a bit frustrating, especially because of, besides the monorail, you have seen 0% of this place. So
Yeah.
all of your escape plans rely on, well, unless there are exit signs, you should probably acquire some sort of map or maybe like make a friend with a janitor or something first. So the
He's
plane doesn't
thinking-
get far, but
He's thinking about how we can survive a fall from a high up window. Like, what's the best way to jump through the window in his room?
He needs Maggie and Revna's sheets to tie together to make a rope.
But how is he
All
going to
out
convince
the
them to
2-foot
give up their
window.
sheets?
So no, he just needs them. He just needs them. Just go get them, buddy.
It's
Just
a
go
great
get
way to get strangled with
I know.
Revna's sheets.
them. Exactly.
So yeah, that's what Bucky is spending most of his time doing, is figuring out how best to get out of this place.
Yeah, there
Alright.
eventually comes a moment where like Klifton can hear like the straining of wood, and looking over at Revna's door frame, she's just like latched on to the top of the door frame and is doing chin-ups.
nice. Get some exercise in. That's always good. It does matter. So some hours pass between cleaning up and redesigning and existential thoughts, shower thoughts, all sorts of thoughts. About, like, it feels like almost 4 hours pass before there is have any of you lived in an apartment complex with the annoying buzzer to let people into the building that you got to answer to?
Yeah.
So there's this that buzzes into the room, and next to the door is a little intercom button. And there's like a light blinking every time the buzz goes off. Like,
Klifton pushes it. Yes.
just confirming that everybody's awake. I'll be unlocking the door now if we'd like to have that tour.
Everyone, tour time.
Put your shoes on.
Bucky, do you have to use the bathroom?
Big facility.
No. I just used it. And a little bit came out when the buzzer came because I got scared.
All right. So then the door, you can hear the click of the unlock happen. The door opens up. You see that this time it is just the site director. Oh, my tabs, they've gotten smaller. Dr. Graham. And she goes, all right, well, we can start from this building since we're already in it. And I will walk you around and give you a little bit of history and all that kind of stuff and point you at all the buildings, you know, pop quizzes or whatever you want. I'm not much of a tour person, but it is part of the job. And as she walks from place to place, she does give you some general information. Site 11 was founded on August 9th, 1925 as a way to merge the SCP facilities with normal mundane activities such as transportation, food, entertainment, etc., to help create a normalized environment for long-term living within the SCP Foundation. Site 11's primary objective is to serve as a research station with industrial manufacturing facilities. We have on-site equipment for quite a lot of different types of testing, as well as maintenance and mechanics bays to create or repair things as needed. Site 11's secondary objective is to serve as a housing unit for anomalous entities, such as, and she can like vaguely gestures over her shoulder like she's trying to point at you for someone else. Such as, until they can be properly relocated to a standard containment facility or are determined neutralized or familial in some way. The facility is built around the Capital Region International Airport, surrounding areas, and the facility is divided into 3 sections. We are currently walking through Section B. Right now, we are underneath the Dakota Grove manufacturing plant is under our control. Everything we build above ground, though, however, is mostly for like normal automotives, other civilian things. We do have quite a lot of level 0 employees here that operate the front to make it look like a normal operation above ground. We have plenty of people who take on jobs as burger flippers to keep up the facade. Some things that you'll notice as she walks around, she takes you from the 1st to the 4th floor of Section B here. It's all manufacturing bays. Each one has large mechanical arms. There looks like some sort of like upright like BattleBot thing being built in one place. There's like an old recon plane being repaired in another. And then some of those vehicles that you saw from the Bring Out Your Dead task force is here getting like tires changed. And then she takes you to floor 5 and 6, which is equipment testing. There is a gun range on the 5th floor, as well as like several places to test out various types of machines, technology, anomalies, weapons. On the 6th floor, there are like smaller individualized testing facilities. That floor is mostly used for testing Anomaly A on Anomaly B type stuff, so it's not very active there. They pause on floor 7 for a second. This is the monorail that you had come in on. There's also a cafeteria on this floor. You can explore that on your own time. This is all I need to show you here. And she like immediately moves on, takes you to floor 8, which is the security office, as well as site dormitories block 1 through 7. This is where you will live, as well as the on-site security teams and any other mobile task force temporarily staying. As she's saying this and walking around, you do see some of the Bring Out Your Dead people are like chilling in one of the dormitory blocks, just playing cards, just burning time. And here on floor 9, we have the research labs rooms 1 through 15. This is where we do general research, mostly not with anomalies. If we want to try out new fuel sources or maybe test out some amnestics we are working on, this is where we do it. We don't typically take anomalies into these testing facilities. She then walks you to the monorail and takes you to Section A. And she also points at the map of the monorail as you're traveling and points out, so we are traveling from Section B to Section A right now. Section B being underneath the manufacturing plant. Section A that we are traveling to is underneath the Capital Region Airport. You may have noticed that you came in from a hangar bay in the airport. That is floor 0, technically. Floor 1 is aircraft maintenance and construction. Floor 2, general item storage. No anomalous items are there, but any supplies you might need. And she does look over at Maggie for a second, kind of to let that be mentally known. Any items you might need, you typically can find it there. The monorail in this section is on floor 3. For any ordnance needs, in case you are sent out as a mobile task force, floor 4 is the storage warehouse for MTFs. That includes weapons, firearms, body armors, both lethal and non-lethal defense items, etc., etc. And then let's go to the most important section, Section C. And you take you back on the monorail. Section C is not reachable from above ground. We must take a monorail from either Section A or B to get here. But this is the heart of the facility. The first floor is administrative offices, where you will find myself, Major Iden, that is the head of security. You can find the assistant site director, Dr. Benison, director of personnel, Dr. Geschwin, key facilities, Dr. Myers. I do hope you are taking notes, for I'm not going to go through it again. Director of research, Dr. Reed, director of security, Major Iden, not to be confused with the director of task forces, Commander Iden. They are related. Then there is the assistant director of containment, Dr. Rosia Foster. There is a total of 2,000 personnel on this facility, as well as a resource pool of 425 D-class personnel for any research needs that you might have. Site 11 is outfitted to handle and maintain anomalous entities of object class Keter and below, so if you are out there and manage to somehow contain something higher than that, or at least find a way to track it, please note that Site 11 does not have the capabilities of containing things. You will have to ask for O5 advice from there. However, due to Site 11's primary objective of researching and manufacturing, this does not serve as a main containment facility. We do have 5 SCPs under our jurisdiction permanently. Otherwise, most SCPs or anomalies are moved here temporarily while permanent housing are being prepared. Do you have any questions on this tour?
Only as a player. Can we get the NPC list at some point?
Yeah, I will copy and paste it right now before I forget. These are the main NPCs of each head. There are 2,000 personnel, so there's plenty of like smaller level people, but this is, and I'll question for the courts as well, just because I like everybody having the information. These are all of the bosses of each of the departments, in case you need them.
Awesome.
Otherwise, then Dr. Graham looks at Bucky -1.
So, does that mean that we're getting permanent housing built?
I suppose that all depends on your performance here, and as far as I'm aware, I was to provide you with dormitories. I believe the O5 Council has something prepped boiling up. I'm not sure.
Okay.
If you do end up staying at the facility longer, and we do find you trustworthy, there are off-site living facilities. I myself have a nice little ranch house that I stay in when I'm not on the clock.
Yeah, Bucky likes the sound of this.
What about the others of you? Do you have any questions or needs or concerns that I can address right now while I have the time with you?
Food, something to do, somewhere to sleep. I believe I'm fine for now. Appreciate the tour.
Are we just kind of able to like wander around?
For the time being, we'd like it if you would stay within the facility. There are plenty of above ground areas to explore, but we cannot trust 100% that it wouldn't cause some issues. There are plenty of recreational places as well as research facilities. You can study on your own time. You can assign yourself your own tasks. It seems we do not have a schedule for you. Though, when we do have need of you, it is important that whatever you are working on is something you can put down and walk away from, so bear that in mind.
How confident are you in the defensive capabilities?
Well, we have only ever had a total of 1, 2, 3. It's 2014 right now. So we've only had 3 incidents on the entire time this facility has been up and running. So I would say our security is fairly well. Otherwise, if you do want to know more about security, you can ask the head of security or the director of task forces, which you are technically assigned or attached to. So
She nods. How long?
how long what?
How long has this facility been in operation?
Well, since it was founded in 1925 and it is 2014 now, feel free to play with some math to make sure that part of your brain is still working.
Thank you.
The monorail arrives at Section 3, or Section C, which, same. And she does continue to explain. So, as she said, floor 1 is administrative offices. Floor 2, this is the monorail access station to Section A. And research labs 16 through 30. Floor 3, from there, you can get to 31 through 35. The head of security's office is there. I know that most administrative offices are on the first floor. Then on floor 4, you can find site dormitories as well as our department head offices. Do not be confused. Administrative offices is for paperwork and paychecks and all of that. If you wish to speak to any of the department heads, we are on floor 4. If you find yourself injured or in need of amnestics, the medical ward is on floor 5, as well as the dormitories of 15 through 20. The monorail from here to Section B and the cafeteria is on the 6th floor. There are a lot more research rooms on the 7th floor, and if you have need of the D class, you can find them on floor 8. Make sure to stop at the security office first to let them know who you are pulling out, for what and how long, and otherwise you can get what you need. These are the important rooms here. And she points towards floor 9 through 12. Floor 9 is where we keep our safe and Euclid class objects. We have just a few right now. There's a pair that we need to look into, as well as a book that we've had for some time now. Floor 10 through 12 is the Keter class containment. You must make sure that you have at least 3 mobile task force teams active and ready before you open this door for any reason, or if the head of security or myself are with you. The risk is too high due to the fact that we are over a heavily populated civilian area for us to fuck around and find out with those floors. And that concludes the tour of the facility. I have no idea what the 4 of you are to be doing here in between jobs being sent to me for you. Do you have a plan or anything? Or is there anything I can point you towards to get you started? I'd like to make sure that everyone is continuing to be productive. Idle time is an offense to me. Do you need to do some training, some research? Are you itching for some action? I can try and rustle something up for you, but I will note in any reports if I find you lollygagging for too long.
I will appreciate any access to research materials, libraries, and computer, whatever. I will attempt to non-lollygag as much as I possibly can.
Well, in terms of computers, I would recommend you go to Section B. The research labs there have the most recent tech upgrades. Most of the other research labs are empty until you bring equipment into them. So if you need computers or libraries or all that kind of stuff, you should find them there.
Most appreciated.
Do we have permission to leave the facilities?
Like I said earlier, it would be preferable if you stayed in between these 3 sections until further word from the council comes down. There's plenty to do and plenty of places to go, and we won't be restricting you from any room, honestly, besides floor 10 through 12 in section C.
Understood.
So you said that there's an automotive plant that's above it. And I'm going to guess that if we have like a driver's license or anything from before we went into the IKEA, that it's not going to transfer as much.
IKEA? What? Is this where you worked before?
Let's say, yeah.
If your driver's license is still valid, then yes, I'm not entirely
what if it's expired in a way that you should probably, like, if there's a test or something again, you might want to take? Just to, like, everyone drives on the left side, right?
No, they don't. This is North America. They drive on the right side. Are you European?
No. I worked for the post office for a long time.
Well, we do have qualifications here if you want to get certified. And we also have certification courses for aircraft and heavier vehicle equipment if you wanted to qualify in that as well.
Bucky will nod. It'll give him something to do.
Since you guys work in heavy machinery, I've always wanted to get more acquainted with the mechanics of it all. Is there a place where I could sit and watch until I can do? Or is this a place where it's encouraged to get your hands dirty until you figure it out?
Well, I mean, whoever's in charge of the equipment at the time would probably have their own comfort levels. And there are certain things we wouldn't want to go awry, but otherwise you have the right to explore the manufacturing bays and talk with the fellow employees. And if you see someone that needs help, feel free to jump in.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, then. Well, I am going to be heading back to my office here in this section. Welcome to the site. I was not informed the name or identification code of your mobile task force. Do you have that for me? I can write that down.
Don't believe we do at this time.
Thus far, we have been identified as SCP 6965.
Right. That is your anomaly designation. Well, I suppose that means the task force paperwork is also on the way, so I think that's all I'm going to get from you. If you have need of me, I'll be in my office until about 9 p.m., and then you can fuck off for the following 12 hours.
Duly noted. Thank you.
She gives an insincere smile and turns and leaves you all. You are all at the monorail in section 3. Or C, I'm going to keep fucking that up. But now you have an indeterminate amount of time, days, probably, likely a week or two, of just improving yourselves or schmoozing up and rubbing elbows with fellow coworkers, stealing spoons for your breakout plan, anything you want. What would all of you be doing over these long periods of time?
Well, looking into, is there any tomes and or materials on rituals and or magic here in the facility?
All right, give me a library use.
Right. Use. Oh, I will spend the 5 luck points.
All
I
right.
rolled a 70 and I have 65.
All right. So you push your luck and spend a couple of extra hours a day reading through the books, both in paper and digital format, here in site 11. In terms of you're looking for what type of like magical stuff?
Oh,
Specifically clairvoyance or just supernatural things?
Yeah, just to kind of get a feel for what is here. I don't even want to learn anything yet. I'm looking more for, okay, yes, there is some magic books here. How do I access them, or see the scope of the magic? Like,
okay, so it seems like with your current, you'll have your little, I believe I gave you level 1 or level 0. You remember your clearance cards from last session?
Going back.
I made the mistake of bringing my DM notebook to a home game and not bringing it back. So all my SCP notes are sitting in someone else's house.
We have a level 0 access card.
Level 0. Okay. So with level 0 access, you can get a lot of stuff on like history of thaumaturgy and magic and rituals and stuff like that. There are logs of incident reports and or like mobile task force responses. So you can read up on like a lot of things that have happened magic wise or magic effects that have come from objects. You will not find anything on how to perform any rituals or like spells or anything.
All right. Okay. That's kind of what that's his first direction to head. So he'll spend time at that.
Okay. What does Maggie do here and there?
Maggie is gonna play the working man for the next 2 weeks, where she's going to and go and chum up to the people who do heavy machinery and sit, observe until she finds someone who's agreeable and chatty and allows me to actually play around with their toys. And Maggie's priority is going to be learning if all the mechanics that she knows still transfer over to this universe, because from what she's realized, real tiny things change, and in mechanics small things change all the time from car to car and whatever. But she needs to know if technology is different. Like, are they steam people? Are they gas people? Like, I don't know what's happening here. So she's just here trying to figure that out. And also, she'll inquire things like, she'll ask about like, hey, what Windows version are we on nowadays? When it comes to computers.
Okay. All right, so give me a fast talk and mechanical repair check.
Fast talk, mechanical. Oh, here it is. Alphabetical order. There it is. If it's on the number,
meeting it does count as passing.
Okay.
Nice.
Woo! That was unlikely on that fast talk, so that one's a pass. And other one was mechanical repair?
Yep.
Okay. Got in 250 rolls. Man, my heart. That one also is a pass.
All right, nice. Smooth. So, you get some knowledge from the mechanical workings here. Luckily, quite a lot of the way things work are the same. The ethanol levels in the fuel are different. It seems that this world runs a lot dirtier than yours, but beyond that, it still uses combustion systems, electrical systems. There is a couple of like metals you haven't worked with before, but they still follow the same rules of physics, and they still fit rationally on the periodic table. And like the people who have been working have enjoyed your time with them. It seems most of the people in like the level 0 to 2 category are all just, it's the proletariat. It's all the working class. It's the chill folk. During your fast talking, schmoozing, you do get to know the director of containment a bit more. That is Dr. Rose Sia Foster. She seems to be very, what's the word? Sociopathic, which, I mean, usually triggers fear responses to people, but she doesn't people good. She logics great. As like every time you talk to her, she doesn't seem to like care about any like emotional responses to things. She will like run by and check on someone if they like get their fingers stuck at equipment, but cares more about like talking about the machine she's working on. She's very proud of the containment measures that she puts into place in all of these places. You also meet the chief mechanic, Torres. Torres is chatty as all hell, a kind of heavy-set Midwestern fella. And like every time you work with them, they're like, oh yeah, you just gotta put the piece right there. And I remember righty tighty lefty loosey. I always forget once in a while myself. And hey, you ever see that one game that happened recently? I saw me do a simulating goats. My kid loves it. And they just fucking ramble on, but they're agreeable. They complain about capitalism a lot, and they seem pretty cool. So yeah, you make a couple of friends.
The other thing that I was just trying to gauge about this universe is I asked around about different cars, different car brands. I'm just like, it's like, hey, did you see the new truck coming out from I always forget their damn names, the one with the really nice 1994 version, and then they just totally modernized it and fucked it up in the past like 5 years.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about the Ford plant or the GM plant?
The Ford one, Ford.
Oh yeah. Hey, fun fact: Did you know the creator of Ford? He was just a straight up Nazis. Did you know that? Yeah. Oh yeah. He even bought his own newspaper company because people wouldn't let him publish all of his Nazi talk. So he had to, just go write his own damn newspaper. It was wild. Oh yeah. He's a real piece of work. That is good. Michigan legacy we got going on there.
Man, you said it. Fuck that guy. Good cars though, gotta admit.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty sturdy machines. I wish we didn't make so many for the cops, but that's just what it is.
I love Torres. Shout out to Torres. Everyone, be more like him.
Be more like Torres.
And I will just talk about man, a real bad time to be really interested in Ford trucks. And so I'll be talking about it and be like, hey, do you have like a favorite year of drug?
Hey, favorite year of drugs? Well, I mean, I was pretty big into the 70s, but trucks. Well, Anderson Robotics, they make a pretty good truck that we've been using for a while. It's got amphibious capabilities, and you can actually put some anti-mimetic devices on them. So, that's been pretty good.
Oh, man. Technology. Crazy nowadays, huh?
Yeah, it'd be a lot crazier if we got to use more anomalies, but, secure, contain, protect, do not release. That's the way we work here.
True. Better stay safe than sorry, I guess.
Yeah, it's true. Most anomalies are quite dangerous. You got to be careful when you're working with them anomalous. Oh, especially the humanoid ones. You know, I haven't had any experience working with any humanoid SCPs or anything like that, but yeah, I hear they're pretty tricky to deal with.
Well, yeah. My last place, the last side I just came from, they had me working with this little robot, nice little guy. Basically, you just said, "Hey, can you help me with the thing?" And boy, buddy, does he just help you out? No matter what it was, best he could. Thing made out of cardboard, but still made it.
Made out of cardboard and still doing it. Hey, that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, darn shame that we can't use it though.
Yeah, it's would be nice right now. I'm assuming we're just like fixing some chain or something that came loose.
Yeah, this whole time, like he was like underneath a like a large military vehicle, and he's like eventually managed to puncture and open an oil can. Like it sprays on him a little bit, but yeah, fuck. All right, yeah, you know, gonna have to agree with you there. This would have been a lot more fun if someone made it out of cardboard did it.
Can you believe it? Oh, we got like trucks that are I can do basically do everything and make me a damn cup of coffee, but we still have to change the damn oil ourselves.
Oh, that's true. Oh, yes. You know what? Speaking of oil, can you do me a favor and you go to the coffee machine and get me a couple of 5W30s?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Uh-huh. And I head off. But I just spend my time doing that.
Okay. So we will get to the coffee machine in a second. Revna's
gonna spend her Revna's gonna spend her time continuing her program with Miss J, so that she can learn how to read English. She's also going to surely there's like a gym in these facilities, yeah?
Yep.
She's gonna hit the gym, and she's gonna get to know everybody in the security department. What else? Also, she's just gonna pace the whole fucking facility like a caged animal. Like she's like, it is a daily thing where like if she's got nothing else to do, she's just walking the halls of the facility, like learning the whole place like the back of her hand.
All right. So walking backwards from that, Revna does get a very good like memorization of the layout of this facility, where all the hallways are, all the emergency exits. You have, you know, caged animal wise, you've definitely like walked to the doors of the hangars and other exits just to like know how to leave the facility, but didn't leave yet. So if there was a panic and Revna had to suddenly like lead everybody out, you know, she starts to feel pretty confident in that. Can you give me a climb, jump?
Oh boy.
Where were the other ones? There was a third. Climb, jump, swim, throw, and brawl if you want to get some punching bags in on it too.
All right, am I doing one roll for all of these?
One roll each. So one roll is a climb roll, one's a jump roll, one's a...
Well, here comes a climb. Here it is. Yeah, that's a success.
All right, mark it.
Jump. Climb, jump.
Jumps in the middle.
Yep. Okay, that one's a failure.
Just bad at doing burpees.
Yeah, as it turns out. Write these down because it won't let me click the mark. Okay, climb, jump. What was the other one?
Swim and throw. Those are two different ones. And then if you want to throw a brawl in there too.
All right, success on the swim.
Woo!
Success on the throw.
All right, axe throwing and Olympic swimming pools, success.
Swim, throw, and then brawl.
Roll for punchies.
Super success on the brawl.
Nice. So Jim was very successful. Besides doing jumping jacks and burpees, the experience was very good. You notice that like they have like the best facilities. There are exercise pools, there are saunas, there are like freeze rooms, there are like various different types of cardio and weight equipment. So you get your good times in.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You do get in like a little sparring match with one of the members of the in-house mobile task force, which I do not remember Michigan's. Oh, Bring Out Your Dead is theirs. Okay, so yeah, one of the Bring Out Your Deads gets in a little sparring match with you. And although you definitely win, luckily since you're wearing marshmallows on your hands, nobody has to die. But they definitely like Bring Out Your Dead is like pretty like into. They're like this person's a fucking badass. Who's getting this one in the task force? Are you going with us? No, oh, your own task force. What? Whoa. So definitely getting a couple of good reputation points with the security teams. And then you also spent some time with Miss J in her learning machine. So let's do some language English or language common, whatever you want to call it, as well as computer use while you are learning how to work with Miss J.
All right. Do I get...
You get bonus dice for both of these because Miss J is helping walk you through it.
Great. That's the one. There she is. Oh, no. I want to use this one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, correct. Okay. So, this one's going to be for English use. Yeah, that's definitely a failure. And this one's for computer use.
No. It is I before E. I before... Nope. Okay. All right. Well, we'll get it eventually.
You're so arbitrary. Nothing here makes any sense.
What about the computer use?
I before E except after C and all of these exceptions also. Sorry, computer use is also a failure.
So every once in a while, like as she's talking, keep like accidentally force quitting. She'll all right, so let's, you know what? Let's try and change things up and work on that. And just crash shit, open it back up. Okay,
Like,
it's all right. We don't learn our computers all in one day. We can continue. And the lessons are awkward. They are difficult, but you can always circle back and try again. You do seem to be enjoying your time with Miss J. They seem to like give you a sense of like comfort, familiarity. It is a friend who wants to help you. They seem to be sentient, so you every once in a while, when you get too frustrated, she will be like, "Let's take a break. Do you want to tell me about where you come from? What's your hometown like? Do you have fond memories of it?"
Fond memories. No, for the most part, no.
Oh, what about music? Are you a fan of music? Do you play any instruments?
I do not, but I knew people who did.
What do you do for fun?
I fight. I swim. I used to take care of a garden.
A garden? That's neat. Are you a fan of vegetables or more flowers?
We would plant grains mostly. They could take care of themselves while we went Viking.
That's true. Grain can take care of itself. And she goes on like this mini tangent for a second, kind of like fun fact about agriculture, and gives a little teachy thing. But yeah, you're starting to develop a bit of a friendship, a rapport with Miss J. Bucky, you trying to get that driver's license?
You betcha. I want to get my driver's license. So my plans are work on my driver's license, use the computer, see what I can learn about like general, like whatever history that they're able to give us, or at least like a lowdown, so that way he doesn't feel so fish out of water. Like he'll try and access the credible, like any kind of credible histories because of that. If at all possible, So yeah, just driving, learning more, and then if there's like a rock wall, he'd love to do that.
All right.
Work
so
on his
this
climbing skill.
Hell yeah. Well, Revna has already confirmed we got climb action going on.
Yes.
If you want to do both drive auto and mechanical repair while you're learning about cars, because learning about preventative maintenance is important for running a motor vehicle. You know, oil changes, making sure the car's not going to explode when you turn it on, etc.
Okay. The one thing that I am good at is drive, right? I get an 85 for drive. Nah, dog, I rolled a 94.
You can always push the roll and try again for a negative consequence.
I'm gonna push it.
All right.
That is a success with a 72, so it's a standard success on drive.
All right. Besides awkward incidents where you keep putting it in reverse instead of drive and may have damaged a few vehicles, you do eventually prove to the team that you do have driving skills and you are worthy of qualifying for operating motor vehicles.
It's one of those, like, the sunglasses come down, toothpick, just ascot, like, let's drive, and then he just kills it because it's a fucking manual. Like, he just, like, fails the shit and it just, like... Okay.
And then what about the mechanical repair?
Mechanical repair.
How come the gears go up instead of down?
Okay, so mechanical repair is also a failure by 10.
You can spend 10 luck to turn that into success, or you can push the roll.
I'll do it.
All right. So, yes, they show you the engine workings of the like Humvees and stuff that they have here, teach you how to like check all of the different fluids. You get a pretty good training. And then if you want, give us a climb check for that sick rock wall action.
Yeah! I'm certified back home. Let me see here. You can't roll for shit today. If it was any other game, I'd be on fire. But for climb, I got a 40, but I rolled a 73. So, pretty sure I'm not going to be bouldering by myself.
Don't feel like pushing?
I already pushed. I don't know if I can push again.
Well, since they are all individual rolls, they're their own checks, so you can push each individual one.
Fuck it. Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen? My leg!
Let's go. And... It's a 96. It's way worse.
So, Revna, as you are sparring with one of the Bring Out Your Dead, Bucky comes in, and they they're like already in gym stuff. They're doing their stretches. They're kind of like bouncing back and forth, like
the powder on the hands.
And they start climbing, and they ignore like someone as they walk by, and they're like, "Do you want a safety belay?" And as they climb, they end up slipping and falling and rolling their ankle. Take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
As you have a sprained ankle as you eat shit in front of everybody in the gym. You do manage to get one lucky punch in as like the person who is boxing with you is like what the fuck? Ah!
I can provide first aid if and he requires it.
Sad face. Is that a yes,
like,
please?
Holding his leg. He looks over at Revna, and there's just like the big, like, I hurt myself energy that seems to be coming from him.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna spend some luck points. Let me just let me do a little bit of quick math to decide exactly how many luck points I'm gonna be spending here.
Or you can push it, just double break the ankle.
It would be more interesting to push it, wouldn't it?
Pushing is, especially when it comes to non-life or death situations, pushing is fun.
I'm gonna push it.
Push it real good.
Push it to the limit. Okay, are you allowed to spend luck points if you pushed?
No.
Oh, get fucked. I failed by 2 points.
So, Simon, have you ever seen the movie Major Payne?
No, I don't think I have.
It is old enough now. Okay, so there's a scene in Major Payne where the soldier is like, my leg, oh my God, my leg. And Major Payne walks over, and now we're just going to swap that now. And it's Bucky, oh my leg. And Revna walks over and kind of picks up your hand for a second and kind of caresses and just grabs your pinky and snap. You're not thinking about your leg anymore. First aid accomplished.
Oh my God.
So, yay, you don't have much leg pain going on. Now you have hand pain and 1 more point of damage. Like the other security people in the gym are like, oh, fuck!
There's just the saddest like noise of pain from Bucky.
As Bucky is like cradling their finger, there is a ping on the intercom in the facility, and it says, members of SCP-6965, please report to administrative offices. Members of 6965, please report to administrative offices. Beep, boom.
He like gets up and like he's like hobbling, holding his finger.
Revna just goes straight to administrative offices. She doesn't help him.
All right, and Maggie, you're working on machines when you hear this too. You don't hear it the first time, but the ping goes through like a second time, and then he finally stops the drill he's using for a second to hear it. 69, 65. What is this? Some D classes or something? Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, you want to hand me that thing?
Yeah, here. I just forgot I had to go do a thing though. So let me hand you this and then I'll be back. Maybe tomorrow, maybe in a couple of days.
Yeah, all right. Give me a fast talk real quick. The
No.
timing, although a bit suspicious, might be something you can wiggle out of.
Ooh. I want you to know my fast talk is 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have like the tens die, so I'm just rolling 2 10s. So I roll 1 to see what the first numbers be if I'm gonna fail or not. And both times I've rolled a different D10. It's gone from 8 to 0 twice on me. So I'm just like, oh, but it's fine. It's still a 5. I can still fail. Well, I guess I could always run luck. Yeah, I'm gonna spend. Speaking of 8s, I rolled another 8. I'm gonna spend some luck points to lower that down to a 5.
Okay.
One of us has to succeed on their checks today.
Look, I am off. Anybody who's ever played any game with me knows that I roll the lowest all the time. This is my time to shine.
Yes, but with complete oh yeah, I had a thing. Definitely was part of a planned thing that had nothing to do with got to go by. You hear a momentary mumble of hey, it's 69, 65. It kind of sounds like an anomaly, Yeah, you're not. No, you're not. And they go back to it doesn't seem to bother them at all.
Close the book I was reading and return it to said librarian or whatever. Make sure it's returned properly or whatever the procedure is.
Okay. Real quick, Klifton, can I have a spot hidden from you?
Sure.
Go ahead and roll with a bonus die because you got this weird deja vu feeling as you hand the book to the librarian.
Okay. How does a bonus die work?
It means you're going to roll the tens place twice and do the higher of the two.
All right. Wait. I keep the higher?
Yep, the higher of the 2 tens place dice that you'll roll.
Oh, jeez. All right. So that means it's more difficult.
No, it'll be less difficult. You're going to roll a D100, but you're going to roll the tens place twice and say you roll 20 and 50, you're taking the 50. Or 420, sorry. I keep forgetting
Okay,
golf.
okay. All right. Whew. All right. Good. Yay. All right. And what skill was it?
Spot hidden.
Spot hidden. Okay, so I rolled an 80, and a 50, and a 1. And my spot hidden is 51. So
Nice.
my God,
just out of the corner of your eye, you do a double take, and you realize that the person that you just turned the book back into is someone you have met before in a different library.
Okay.
And as you hand the book back to them, they're like, all right, well, thank you for that. I'll make sure to put that right where it belongs.
And yeah, Klifton will... Have we met?
They look up towards a camera for a second and then look back at you. And not that I know of. I've never met you before in my life.
Indeed.
Well, Mr. Kai, you have a good day.
Thank you. And he walks away.
And
Okay.
As the four of you regather, you head towards the administration area, and there's like a clerk that sees you all walking by, and they gesture towards a room near the back. And that room has 2 mobile task force members in like full riot police gear, head to toe. They both are carrying what look like LMGs, and they've got like a red hand imprint on their uniform.
I have in the past like a week or two, however long we've been there. Have we been in a room long enough to discuss what our name is going to be?
I would definitely say so. And we can figure that part during the break, which is just about to get here. As you get to those heavily armored personnel, they step aside and one of them turns and opens the door, never letting go of the pistol grip of the weapon, only reaching with their left hand or non-dominant hand, and opens the door. And as the door swings open, there is a very tall, like 6'7", strongly built feminine figure. And they have their back facing you as you enter into the room, which looks like kind of like an interrogator room. They're facing what looks like a 2-way mirror, but there's no, like, there is a reflection, but it's all incredibly blurry. And they turn around and look at the 4 of you, and, well, it's good to see you all in person for the first time. Please, have a seat. We have some work to talk about. And that is where we will take our break.
Excellent. I'm horrified. I'm scared, but there's tall people, very strong, electric eyes. I'm here for it, and hopefully you will be too when we come back from our break. We're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon. And we're back. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We have returned. I apologize for having forgotten to unpause the break music throughout most of the break, so you are left alone with your own thoughts, but maybe those thoughts led you to possibly check out all of our VODs or join the after show. Maybe I did a good thing. Who's to say? Anyway, Media, take us away.
All right, so I'm actually going to be taking us backwards a few days because I missed a narrative point in Maggie, at least, adventure. So Torres asked Maggie to go to the coffee machine and get them some 5W30. So eventually, wandering around confused looking for an oil coffee machine, you are directed to the cafeteria. And in the cafeteria, there is a standard coffee vending machine. The only noticeable difference is there is an entry touchpad with buttons corresponding to an English QWERTY keyboard. There are no images, to like here's the hot chocolate type A5 or some shit like that. There's no images. It's just the keyboard and like cool doodle of a coffee, and coin slot for money, as well as the deposit slot for the coffee cup itself.
I look like left and right and just like kind of like wipe a little bit of sweat off my brow, and I'm just like, I guess. And I start typing in 5W40 and throw in some change.
Okay, you said 5W40?
That's what you said, right?
30.
30.
I'm okay
30.
with doing 40. But so delete 30. You put a couple of coins in and type 5W30, and the machine slides a paper cup down, and slowly, like a watery syrup, a clear oil is poured into this little coffee cup. And once it's full to the top, it stops spraying, and you have like this unlidded container of 5W30 in a paper cup.
Is it warm? Is it like, what does it feel like when I pick up the cup?
So it looks like very clean oil. It's about room temperature. It's about the temperature you'd find it on a store shelf. And you like take a sniff of it too, and it's definitely oil.
And I'll grab myself a real coffee while I'm here. And or just I shouldn't say real coffee. That's invalidating to the humanoid robots apparently here. I'll pick up some coffee made with ground beans, and I'll just like drink it on the way.
Do you type coffee made with beans into the thing?
Coffee made with beans. I'm gonna look for somebody I know in this area.
All right. You look around in the cafeteria, and there's a couple of employees from maintenance that are here. None of them that you recognize by name yet, but enough that you're comfortable like randomly talking to.
And I'm gonna go over and be like, "Hey, weird question here. What's a good coffee made? The ones made with ground beans instead of oil."
Coffee oil? What?
Yeah, like regular like coffee beans, like the one that you make with beans, grind up, strain it through water.
Oh yeah, I don't get the oil part, but yeah, you just you didn't use the machine.
Just got here a couple of days ago, so still trying to get it all figured out.
Oh yeah, you just type. You give them a quarter and type in whatever you want. It has to be in liquid form, and also don't type cup of Joe. Like actually specify coffee.
Oh.
Otherwise,
you know that one.
You want anything special in it, you do also have to specify. So you want like cinnamon or creamer or some shit like that.
Oh, all right, awesome, thanks. And I'll go over and I'll just type in coffee.
A cup of Joe.
Yeah, cup
coffee.
of coffee.
Okay, you slide in the coin and type in cup of coffee, and a hot black cup of just like a standard Colombian roast is poured out into a cup. And you now have 1 cup of oil and 1 cup of hot coffee. Black.
I'm gonna sip on that on the way back and think about what I just did. And when I get back to Taurus, I'm just like, hey, here you go. Here's your cup.
Oh yeah, all right, thank you. Is there like a what would be insight? I guess it would be roll me an intelligence check as you're pondering this experience you just had.
Oh, intelligence, like the actual thing.
Mhm.
I was looking at my my
I don't
things
have
just-
this intelligence skill.
Yeah. Just that one just got rolled straight under my computer. Just gonna just roll another. Oh, sweet. That's gonna be a pass. Ooh, that's gonna be a good pass. That's gonna be a half pass. I don't know why I'm rolling the other number. That doesn't matter. Be a half pass.
All right, with a half pass, you kind of easily deduce that this coffee machine is some sort of like anomalous liquid dispersal thing. You typed in you typed in cup of coffee, you got a cup of coffee. You typed in 5W30, got that. Someone mentioned not typing in cup of Joe, and based on like some insight, you'd like to assume that whoever works here named Joe probably didn't appreciate whatever happened with that. So it sounds like it is a literal liquid dispenser unit. So nicknames to things might be a bit hazardous. But as you're thinking about this, it runs through your mind that, oh, A positive blood, plasma, maybe rocket fuel, etc., volatile acids. These are all liquids. What else could come out of this machine? And then we will cycle back to the office that the party had just entered into with an interesting individual who's standing on the opposite side of the table. And as soon as they are let in and they greet them, the security guards outside with the red hand emblazoned on their uniforms shut the door. And it is just the four of you. No security cameras in sight. There is a two-way mirror that seems to be a bit blurry. And a series of not comfortable looking metal chairs. This is quite an interrogation room setup. And there are some file documents sitting on the table. And the figure gestures to the seats. And would we like to get comfortable and talk about a few things?
Sure.
Bucky
Maggie goes to
still-
sit down.
Yeah, Bucky's still holding his finger, just sits down.
Clifton did help you, like with your ankle and whatnot, help you like walk here.
Yeah. He'd still have like a splint or something, or he's just like holding it as best he can.
Revna's gonna act casual, but there is like a split moment where she like looks around the room and kind of like identifies that like, this doesn't look great. But she'll sit down.
All right. Well, allow me to introduce myself as best as I can for security purposes. You may call me the tiebreaker. I am here to help adjust and integrate you into the Foundation to best serve our needs, as well as make sure you are all comfortable in serving your purposes to the best of your abilities. I have here on paper that you would like to be identified as Task Force Mu-2, the country roads.
Uh-huh.
I have put that paperwork forward for you. Tell me, has anyone filled you in on the history of mobile task forces or any other forces that exist already?
Very little information was given to us.
I see. Mobile task forces are specialized teams created with combat and infiltration capabilities with various specialties depending on the task that they are needed for. According to our logs on you, it seems you have met at least one other task force so far, the ones known as Bring Out Your Dead. There are quite a variety, but one I would like to talk to you about today is Mobile Task Force Alpha 9. I like to call them the Last Hope. This task force is comprised of anomalous individuals that have proved to be loyal to the Foundation and capable in helping us deploy humanoid SCP objects in the field to eliminate or neutralize other anomalies. I am trying to expand this, as I have been successful with my project so far. I would like to make a second anomalous task force. I suppose you would be called Country Roads. It seems, based on what we have observed of you so far, you would specialize greatly in helping us deal with the acquisition or neutralization of sentient SCPs, or the extrication of our own assets from hostile environments. I must say I was impressed to hear that you all survived your encounter with SCP-3008. So tell me, and I can promise you that this is just a conversation between me and you. No one else will hear what is happening here. There will be no record of it. What anomalous properties do you possess? Are you aware of the fact that you are anomalous?
That's because we have an identification number, right? That we're analogous.
Yes, all anomalies are assigned a number to help us categorize them.
I'm good at driving. Does that count?
It sounds like you're not aware of the things you may or may not be able to do. What about the others? Have you ever had experience with any supernatural or magic abilities? Have you ever thought about something so hard it became real? Have you ever been somewhere besides 3008 that might be considered fantastical? Maybe met an anomaly before us?
I do have some clairvoyant abilities.
Please elaborate.
I can think upon an object or a question, receive insight that is otherwise unattainable for any logical reason.
Does your abilities allow you to track both physical and organic objects? Is there some sort of limitation that you have found out about yourself?
No, it's more direct questions, pertinent. I have, for instance, attempted to track Bucky's beloved, and I have worked with police departments in the past to help find people.
And what of you two?
Nothing I can think of. How's
It looks like you're muted, Revna.
Hold on, let's see if I've been throttled. Indeed I have! I am of Rengart. My world is very different from yours, but there is nothing of my nature that you would consider anomalous.
I suppose we'll figure this all out in the field, then. For our own abilities in testing and research, I can confirm that besides the fact that you are considered anomalies purely because you have exited from different worlds besides our own, all of you have some level of anomalous properties, be it thaumaturgy, as she gestures at Klifton, or something else that you may not have noticed yet. Regardless, I have a few tasks that I think might be in your wheelhouses. If you'd like to get the world to know you better, and maybe prove that it would be a good idea to use anomalies a bit more often. Are you more are you more fond of zombies or cats?
I like cats.
Never thought I'd say this, but I agree. I agree with Bucky. I'm going with cats.
Wait, why don't you never think that would happen?
GB is screaming zombies, but Klifton would say small furry animals or biting rabid people.
Oh, I said nothing about the size of it.
Still go with cats.
Revna's gonna look at Maggie. He's like, zombie, he sees Draugar.
Yeah, comparable. Yeah.
I would prefer the felines.
No.
Fantastic. Well then, I have a few agents who are out in the field dealing with a new feline anomaly, and things have not been going well. The team is going to need to be rescued, and we need assistance securing the anomaly and determining what it is, how can we classify it, etc. So it sounds like we have your first mission ready.
Hell yeah.
All right, then. And she puts her hand on the docket on the right of the two and pushes that towards the group. Well, Mutu Country Roads, welcome to the Foundation, and I appreciate any efforts that you put together from here forward. There's not much of a briefing so far as this is unfolding at this time, but you can feel free to read through this, and if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask.
Is it just one? Is it just one folder or whatever? Or
Yeah.
are there copies?
It's like one semi-thick folder full of documents.
Klifton snaps at it. Tries to grab it first because it's painfully slow to let anyone else read anything.
Don't turn the page. I'm done. Turn the page. Klifton, you open it up. There's a series of photos of a little kitten. Let me look for its number and stuff. Oh, wrong kitty. Different kitty. I need to have way left tabs open.
What a mood.
Where can I type it back into? There it is. That's the number I'm looking for. 247. Okay. So the you see pictures of a little juvenile female cat with orange and black striped coat resembling that of a tiger. It has soft rounded ears. There's a couple of pictures of it roaming around in like the suburbs. There are also some photos of dead bodies, as well as bent bars at a zoo and cowering animals here and there, as well as a detail of what has recently gone down. What is the task force name that's out there right now? They don't have a name. Okay. Oh, no, it's just a regular task force. Okay, so there is a non-mobile task force that is out there right now. They heard reports of a cat that is aggressive, but the reports seem to be mixed as reports from on-site seem to be people going, what are you talking about? This is a cute little baby, I'll touch his nose, little snoot. But any report from persons outside, like interviewed like an hour or two later or the day after, seem to describe the creature as hostile towards like pretty much everything. Beyond that, it says that there were a total of 5 operatives that were sent in the field to capture the creature. 2 of them have been terminated and 1 is wounded. They have tracked the animal to a abandoned trailer park neighborhood up in the Upper Peninsula. and they sent out a emergency rescue request.
I caught probably every other picture that Klifton was going through as I was looking over his shoulder. So I saw cute kitten, dead bodies. I saw emergency terminated, aggressive, and then those were the key words I caught. Well, that sounds like quite an anomaly.
And how would we be transported there to site?
Well, as far as I was informed, one of you has been qualified in vehicular transport, so we can provide you with transportation. It is a few hours' drive from here, not too long, but it is likely that the injured personnel will not be able to stay active until you arrive. Although the rescue of the individuals is preferred and appreciated, the priority is the neutralization and acquisition of the anomalous object.
Wanted dead and acquired, or wanted dead or alive?
It is the primary goal of the Foundation to contain and understand anomalies. If you cannot contain it, it is understandable if you have to neutralize something on the field, but preferable capture.
Yeah, and Klifton does his speed ready thing and goes through everything, so kind of gotta, understand the mission. And so we should probably requisition what we need and be on our way.
All supplies on the facility are accessible to you. You just need to requisition it at the armory. Anything you might need besides air support is something that we can provide to you.
And do we have any form of communication device?
There are radios in the armory that you can get as well.
Do we directly contact you, or is there a field operative that is our handler or whatever?
The chief of the mobile task force, staff names, Commander Iden would be in charge if you once you're on the field. You will likely not see me face to face again from here forward, but you will be doing me quite a lot of favors by merely existing and cooperating with the facility.
Well, it was indeed a pleasure in meeting. And then Klifton just gets up and starts walking out the door, I guess.
You could do me a favor before you leave, and she pulls out this little container thing, little breath spray. If you could put some of that on your tongue so you can forget about my existence, but not anything else that has happened here, we can move forward with the task. Just a simple Class B amnestic.
Bucky just
no thought, head empty, just sees the before she even describes what it is, he's like, spearmint,
This tastes like fish oil and blood.
That's not spearmint at all. I think that's what Bucky says. It's just, that's not spearmint. Some sort of big red situation.
None of you would have gum on hand, would you? Just something to get the afters? No? You know if the dispensary outside gives gum, or it's just liquids? Damn it.
You'd probably get mouthwash.
Oh, mouthwash. It's good.
Sorry. It just Wings shows up. Hey, everybody.
Where did you come from? There's actually a thing down here. Like, oh, good call.
Clifton has a real problem with this, but
The amnestic.
yeah.
I think Revna is hesitant, but
Yeah.
follows through.
Yeah, I think it's like 3 times he puts it up and is like, it must happen. Takes it.
If your title is the tiebreaker, if I will forget anyway, can I learn your true name?
I don't think anyone will learn my name again in this lifetime, but I also can be considered a member of the O5 Council, O5-13.
An interesting thing to forget.
May we never see each other again. And as you all spray and pick up the document, you turn and the door opens up. And as you step outside, there's no security guards anymore. And before you could even question where those security guards... There were security guards, though, right? There were people. There were people outside. Was there people outside the door? Were we meeting with someone? I can't remember their name. Like, everything got real fuzzy in terms of every other individual that you have interacted with in the last 30 minutes. But as soon as you like look down at the paper, you're like, the job! And that seems to like click right back into your head. For some other reason, identity, it got blurred out for a minute.
So,
Sometimes I fucking hate this place.
yeah, so we don't remember doing the spritz thing, right?
Nope,
You
you
don't even
remember
remember that,
getting this
so-
job, but you don't remember who you met with, or was there any guards? Fuck, was there anybody even in this building while you were here? All that.
Do you guys have nap mouth? Like when you wake up from a nap and there's just like... I feel like I have nap mouth right now.
I have a desire for something called Listerine, but I know not what this is.
I was like, no. Listerine was like that blue stuff that we kept telling you not to drink while we were in the IKEA.
But it smelled of alcohol.
All right, so I guess we should start grabbing things to save people, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's Clifton will kind of say, Bucky, why don't you attempt to, requisition us a vehicle for a road trip, as it were.
Oh, yeah.
Something discreet and yet
something
useful.
modern, no?
Well, it'll have to be tactical in a way, because we may need to contain this.
So we're looking for like one of those like more like off-road vehicles that like people typically like use on road, like one of those, like one that you would like typically use for like mudding. Is that what we're thinking?
I trust your judgment in vehicles.
I got you. We want trunk space, we want leg room, we want creature features, we want TVs in the back. I got all, like, Bucky's like naming these things aloud as he's like walking off in the direction. And then like first step is like, oh fuck, like how did I injure my leg again? And then he just keeps walking.
And then once he's gone, then Clifton will turn to the other two and be like, and Revna, I mean, whatever you think we may need to capture and or kill said monstrosity / kitten. See what they have in a containment cage, if you'd be so kind. And
I will
Maggie,
ensure that we are well supplied.
And Maggie, can you get us any kind of gadgetry or something to take down the critter?
As you're saying this to me, I'm just gonna snatch the papers out of your hand,
All right.
and I'm just gonna start walking down down the hall,
Mhm.
and you'll just hear mumbling of just like, "Fucking, I read 1,000 words per second. No one else needs to know anything."
Perfect.
And I go off to see, after reading the report, to see what could possibly help us.
A report of cute fluffy kitten, what scares animals and seems to be real good at murder, but it's just got a squishable face that you really want to hug. It's the worst report ever. It's like asking someone for details and they just tell you how cute the pet is at the party.
Yeah, but what was the fight? Who was fighting? Like, yeah, but their dog? Oh my god.
Oh my
that golden
god. And then the
retriever?
Shih Tzu came around the corner and I thought I was going to fucking die. Yeah, but also someone did. So
It was a shrimp fork incident. I don't even fucking know. I
Okay.
just dog.
So we'll
I was too
start
busy
with
looking
the motor pool with Bucky as you slide in. What kind of vehicle are you looking for? What do you need?
I'm looking
There
for...
is like one mechanic there who's in charge of handing vehicles out.
I'm looking for like a Jeep kind of thing. Like Bucky might not know it's a Jeep or if they have a Jeep brand kind of deal, but like he's looking for something like that.
Just some casual transport, just like a 4-door thing. You want like a soft top or a hard top?
Soft top.
Does it need to be armored? Well, soft top. Never mind.
Well, no. This is okay. Armored, but like, do you have armor with like a little bit of trunk space?
We got Humvees.
That will probably do.
Yeah, all right. How many you need? 1, 2, 5?
Just one.
Just the one. All right. Yep, we got number 4 over there is ready to go. It's got a couple of jerry cans that you should probably fill up before you go. The tank itself is good. Go ahead and just sign this right here, and we'll put that under you.
Okay. Yep. I am spokesperson for my team. Name's down.
All right, there. Well, there's the key to the locker on the steering wheel.
And then, as he's taking it, he's like, "This is my first time taking one of these out of the facility. I'll have you know. So just like, where's the fill-up stations and everything? You said it was good, but I needed to like top off some cans."
Oh yeah, I mean, once you get out back there up on surface side, there's a couple of gas stations nearby. There's like a Marathon right outside the airport. You go a couple of blocks down, there's a Shell too.
Do you have any of the ones that have like the weird green dinosaur in front of it?
No.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's okay. I had like a coupon. It's fine. Anyways, thank you.
Yep.
He'll just take it and go over to the car he'll get it all ready for his friends. But like before he even like goes to tell the party that like, oh, car's been acquired, he'll like get into the front seat and like make sure that his chair's like the right, like everything is perfect and ready to go.
All right. First thing that you notice as soon as you get in here is there's no key ignition in a Humvee. The lock is just a like bike chain style lock on the steering wheel, and it's got a off, ready, start, turnstile switch.
Okay.
Seats are not comfortable. They're barely adjustable, but there's enough space for cargo and guns and all that kind of shit. This is nothing like the Humvees we sell to civilians. This is just steel and like 2 inches, if we're gracious, of foam padding for the seats.
Yeah, Bucky, like, it's one of those, like, he's like trying to get comfortable, saying, I have to be in this fucking thing for hours? He's gonna think about, like, finding some place to acquire better seating for this. Like, even if it's just, like, a pillow or something.
All right. So as you struggle with the Humvee, Maggie zooted off for some items. Where is Maggie going for equipment?
I'm I'm probably gonna stop off to grab some tools real quick to just in case I have to jury rig anything while we're there. I'm remember like Maggie's remembering like videos she watched on TubeU of people like TNRing feral cat colonies, and so she's thinking about like those all just the like wacky shit people do with traps in order to try and trap some things. So she's like, I should probably like get some tools to maybe like build something a trap if I really have to. So she'll go grab some tools and just like some small things there, things that she could just carry like in a quick tool bag or toolkit or whatever. But her main focus is going to be anywhere that like, because I know that there's like an armory place, but like, is there like a gadget place somewhere you could go and just ask to see if they have items for trapping things?
Yep. And let me look at the map again. Research lab. That's where the security stuff is. There's the gun range. Okay, so the manufacturing bay in section B is where like a lot of the non-combat stuff is. So you can either go find Torres or Dr. Foster, the director of containment, for whipping up some stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I feel like we're a little bit on the time crunch. I'll go to the director instead of Torres, just because I know they'll like get me in and out with what I need.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go over and be like, "Hey, I immediately forgot the name the moment you said it. Could you repeat it for me again?"
This is Dr. Rose Sia Foster.
Foster. I'm like, hey, excuse me, Dr. Foster. Can I have a quick second here?
Oh yeah, I could afford a minute or two.
I'm about to go off on a job to catch a big cat, apparently. And I'm wondering if we have anything that can assist with that.
Well, we got a couple of different sized, little nooses on a stick. I don't remember what they're called, but we got them. Like get an animal from afar. We got animal cages of various sizes. I can whip up a containment. What type of cat are we looking for?
Unknown at the moment. Looks kind of like a baby tiger, but from the disaster it leaves behind it, I'm thinking it's a little bit larger than a small. Very strong, bends regular metal, the shitty ones they use at the zoo. Do we have do we have anything stronger than that? Possibly contain this guy?
Well, we got a couple of cages left over for when we had them blood doggies what make the voices. We can refurbish one of those. We just got to clean out all the blood and stuff like that. We don't want to deal with cross-contamination. But, yeah, it's a little 4x7 cage you can use. Otherwise, we got them nooses I was talking about. And we got, we got bear mace if you need it. It tends to work. Otherwise, tranquilizers, do you need any of those? That you'll have to go to the army for, but... What other types of things I can think of for containment for containing a cat? You say like a bobcat?
Like a like a lion tiger, like a big cat.
Oh, all right, well, yeah. So we got a cage that's big enough for that. Then we can get you some tranquilizers. We got them nooses. We got a couple. You worried about hurting it? We got regular bear traps too.
I like the sound of that. It's neutralize if have to, but alive preferably. But the thing is a little bit of a killing machine, so we're a little worried.
All right, so then we got bear traps, tranquilizers. We got nooses, and we got cages.
I'll take definitely the cage. Bear spray, honestly, called bear spray can work on anything. You know what? I'll try the noose thing. What's the worst that can happen, and maybe a couple of those bear traps if we have more than one.
That's a good idea. You know what? I should probably throw in a couple of leather gloves too, some welding gloves. That's probably a good idea. Like falconers, they got them kind of gloves. That's something for cats. Cats trying to scratch up your hands. Maybe get your hand stuck in the bear trap yourself.
It's like, and then I'll take out the bag of tools that I'm gonna take to me on site, and I'm like, look pretty good for just the regular jury rig and stuff. Anything else you'd suggest, or I just have like wrenches and screwdrivers, hammers, and just some bits and bob of metal here and there.
Well, if you need any more scrap metal or any other nuts and bolts and stuff like that, we got drawers over there for them. And we also have prepackaged vehicle maintenance kits if you need to put those on.
Yeah, you know what? I will definitely take one of those. Yeah, I'll take some of that metal because all the extra metal I've been blending with is just, regular steel and stuff like that. So I'll see if I can get anything stronger from the drawers.
Well, stronger the steel, we got a little bit of a titanium over there. And we do have a little bit of the good stuff, but it's going to take some paperwork to do anything about that.
I'm really just going to hope that titanium's strong enough. If not, I think we got a bigger problem. All right. That sounds good. All right. Thanks. Thanks, Dr. Foster. I'm going to go.
All right. Well, you make sure to let me know before you get back what type of creature you got and what kind of contamination you need me to get ready, all right?
All right, will do. And I go off and I just start off by spraying off the cage of all the guts and stuff. And I'm like, oh, God, sometimes I really do fucking hate this place.
All right, so you acquire tools, some scrap metal, you've got your cage and some like falconer's gloves and those like big old nooses on a stick. Revna where is Revna in terms of supply gathering?
Well, Maggie's already grabbing cage stuff and armor, quote unquote. Would it be relevant to do an idea roll right now?
Sure. Are you just trying to think of ideas of things you might need for the mission?
I have a couple of ideas myself, but I kind of want to justify Revna thinking of it. If that makes any sense. It's a intelligence, right, for an idea roll?
For an idea, yep.
Crumbs. That's probably got to be like the fourth time I've rolled over 90 this time. I'm gonna spend some luck for this. Get it down to... Yeah, I'm gonna spend 9 luck to make that a success.
Success? Okay, so it's safe to assume there's probably like some standard items you'd want to bring on any mobile task mission in general. Maybe some firearms in case of emergency, flashlights, who knows how long you'll be out there, maybe some food. Definitely need some sort of communications, be it walkie-talkies between your teammates or like a more powerful radio to talk back to base. Maybe like a camera, some way to, in case you all die, there's some sort of evidence left behind for further research.
Okay.
Yeah, Kai was gonna ask for like a satellite phone, money, and some kind of headsets so we could talk to each other. So that was
aid kit also. Definitely need at least like a first aid, maybe a trauma kit.
All right. Revna grabs like all of these like really like reasonable and like straightforward like just like standard mission gear essentially.
Right.
Can she also drop by the canteen and grab some snacks that would be tasty for a kitty cat?
Tasty for a kitty cat. I guess there's meats. There are various meats.
Some high value treats.
So you go over and like spoonful of tuna into a fucking piece of aluminum foil and wrap that shit up and
or just like entire cans of tuna. Just a few, just like an armful.
Cup of Joe.
Cup of Joe.
There is a liquid machine. If you need any liquids, you can always get like a cup of milk out of it or something. It's not super great for cats, but they don't know any better.
Right. The way that I'm justifying this is that there are stories of Viking households that stole bear cubs and raised them as their own. So she's gonna grab some snacks for kitty cat that they might like, and maybe on the way she's gonna keep an eye out for certain herbs that might be amenable to a feline's disposition.
Herbs. Okay. The only herbs I can think of that would be in the canteen are all toxic to cat.
Yeah, I was thinking it's probably not going to be in the canteen, but she's going to keep an eye out for it on the way, like in transit.
Okay. And then Klifton, you were looking for what now?
Like a satellite phone, so we have direct communication to base, and then like money. Like, is there an expense card or something so that if we need to get a hotel or we need to, do any of that kind of stuff?
Okay, so you'll get a credit card. Since you were level 0, it's only got a $200 spending limit. So anything.
Driving a Humvee, that isn't going to get us to gas to the UP and back. We'll have to figure something out. Okay.
Then you ask for a satellite phone. That is easy to acquire. Any of these objects, make sure to we will write down what is in the vehicle, so that later you're like, we really need a hand grenade. Damn it, we didn't bring the hand grenade. We know.
And can I make some kind of like luck roll or something to have like, the armory guy maybe ask a couple questions and make a couple of suggestions? So some way. All right, I will.
All right, let's luck check to see if the person helping you is a bit chatty.
And luck is a stat, right? Yep. Okay. Yep. Okay. Oh yeah. That is a. Luck only has. There's no.
Yeah, it's just
gradation.
pass fail.
Okay. Oh yeah. Way made it like 4 times the lower than the top.
All right. So as you're working with this person, you grabbed a satellite phone, and what was the other item that you grabbed? Satellite phone.
Money.
And what? Money.
The money.
They also mentioned that they have camera drones if you wanted them, the like little remote control operators.
I've got a couple ideas that I wanted Revna to get.
Or to
hear.
Okay.
Can I say them? Like her guy, not my guy. I wanted her guy.
Oh, you want their guy to? Okay.
So there's anti-drone shotgun rounds that are basically nets. You can fire out of a shotgun that fires a small net, like big enough to catch a cat or a drone.
Yeah, that would be smart. Yeah.
There's also net cannons, which are a actual thing they catch animals with, which is buoys and a spread shot that fires over animals, that kind of thing.
Yeah, those are definitely things that you can find here.
They make like a special pair of tongs for cats now.
I saw those.
Those are great. Those are great. The cat catcher.
Yeah.
Since this place is set up to contain, animals, robots, humanoids, there is like a wide variety of different types of capture and neutralization. So you can find tranq guns, net guns, tasers, bear mace. You can find sonic devices if you wanted some sort of sound cannon or like a flashbang.
Again, Klifton wouldn't think of any of that, but I'm hoping someone would say that to
and then there's like there's a joke that the armor does like lay out that everyone always grabs a pistol and at least one round just in case shit gets way too wrong. Other than that, things that would be recommended amongst all of the different supply people for a kitty cat / rescue. Definitely, like the trauma kit, maybe a stretcher. The satellite phone is smart because then you can maybe like call a helicopter in once you're there.
I mean, like just a classic like cat trap, the kind that you can like bait and just leave out.
Yeah, they definitely probably have a few of those.
But we already know that unless it's like upscaled, they're just gonna like boom.
I mean, do we know for a fact how big it is? Or is this just like a
from the images, it looks like a house cat.
Yeah. Is this like a hilariously strong tiny little kitty?
That we
Gonna have to
don't
do
know
that
yet.
research in the field.
Yep.
All right.
Maybe since you're dealing with an animal, some sort of like stab vest, maybe the falconer gloves that was mentioned.
Body
Like
armor
boots.
for us.
the full body like pillow suit that one dons when like dealing with like training dogs to
Oh,
attack.
Yeah, they can give you one of those. One dog attack suit.
That one's
Or
for
the-
Bucky.
Or the anti-bear suit. Have you guys seen them? That's like Iron Man armor. You know, it'll bounce small rounds off of it.
Revna's already wearing her anti-bear suit.
There it is. Woohoo.
All right. Are there any other items? Luckily, since you're being supplied by the facility, you don't have to worry about like spending anything. So far, nothing's been requested that would be unreasonable for your like ranking and mission.
All right.
And just
I
making 1,000% sure we have like tranquilizer rounds and things like that with us. Okay. 1,000%. Just making sure. I don't want to get out there and be like, wait, did
we'll
anybody
all
get
like
it?
write it down in the chat. Then once we hit enter, that's the shit that's in the video.
All right.
Right.
Well, if we need to
Yeah.
do that, which chat are we writing it in?
It
We'll
can be the
just do our
serpent's.
standard chat. It's
Yeah.
fine. That way you can think about it over the week as well. In
Yeah,
case
that's
we
what I
forgot
was
anything.
thinking. I imagine we'll have
Yeah. Once we arrive at the mission,
yeah.
anything that's in the car is what you got.
All our scenes are just fading into black as we're talking.
Right now
Mhm.
it's Schrodinger's equipment.
Otherwise, like everyone arrives with their vague, indeterminate amount of supplies
Your
until they
attaché
are
case.
established. And y'all go to the motorcade, and Bucky is waiting with a Humvee. They got it like pulled up a little bit, and you all start loading your gear up, and pile on in, and start to head up the ramp out of the hangar so you can get on the main road. It's the first time in weeks or more, depending on how long you've been in the IKEA, that you have seen the sky. Luckily, it's still blue, or unless that's different for your world. There are clouds, a lot of cars out. Suddenly, like, there's a moment of like agoraphobia where like you're suddenly just like out in the fucking world again. But you are driving this Humvee down the highway in Lansing, heading towards the Upper Peninsula, and that is where we can end this session.
Yes! Yes, this is excellent. I'm having an absolute blast in this game. I'm so excited because Bucky doesn't need to have his passport to go across state lines this time around. This is going to be great. It's going to be easy. He's having a blast. But I always have a blast whenever these folks are on the channel. Hey, Mediaflare, where can we find you? What do you do?
Oh, Chloe, also a really good question.
I am Mediaflare. I am a voice actor and streamer. You can find me on this channel on Thursdays and Sundays. You can find me on Twitter or Twitch at Mediaflare. I stream survival games on Mondays and whatever I feel like on Fridays, and that schedule will constantly change however I feel fit. You can also hear me as the journalist Russell Gainsley in the HubNet News Network for Star Citizen. And also there are a couple of other upcoming voice projects that you'll be hearing me in soon, so look forward to that. DanaeKeener.com.
And PB.
Hi, I'm PB from @PBPlaysInside, and you can find me here on Thursdays playing this awesome game, and also on every other Saturday, including this Saturday, over on Praxitherma Phosophoria. And you didn't hear it from me, but this Saturday we have something spicy coming up. I don't know what it's gonna be, but our DM has been hinting at it all for the past like 2 weeks, I think. And I personally think we're gonna have a joint venture between our group and the spin-off group that is also playing the opposite Saturday of us, who's in the same universe. So if you're interested in any of that, it's a mech hunt game where we're all just trying our best to stay alive in where everyone wants to kill us for some reason or another. That is on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is me.
And hey, if you made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey, Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday, Thursday, and Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you can find us anywhere audiocasts are being made available for free under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, as we already talked about, we got a Patreon set up with an after show called Nights in the Courtyard. The link is in the Twitch chat to the side. Again, it's being made all available for free, so go check that out. Everything's under the public tag, and you can just enjoy it. And if you do decide that you want to participate in that after show, again, join us on Discord. The link can be found in the Twitch chat to the side or in the description of this video or audio cast down below. We'd appreciate it. DanaeKeener.com. Greybeard.
Oh, all right. Well, you threw the list off. You said everybody, and usually you're last.
I know.
Greybeard's Tavern. You can catch me here on Thursdays, obviously, and Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on my own channel, Greybeard's Tavern, on Twitch. You can also find me on all the social medias there. On Sunday mornings, we play Wilder Myth, and I get to play with my toys, and sometimes I fire a crossbow off in my basement, you know, that kind of craziness. So, you know, come on by and maybe become a character and let me get you killed in horrible ways. Other than that, you can catch me every other Tuesday over on Lantern Noirs, where we do happy hour at the Old Timer Tavern, and that's where the two of us get together, and we've got over 80 years of gaming experience, and we just talk about the topics of the day and what you care about, and you're there with us live, so you can ask us questions and we'll do what we can to help you out. That's it for me, GB.
Hey everybody, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can also find me at Danae Keener. That's my Twitter. I got a pinned tweet there. It's got my schedule that has all of the Twitches that I'm on, so you can go and see all the stuff that I'm up to, DanaeKeener.com.
And that's our show, everybody. So I'd like to say once again, thank you to everyone who decided to stop on by. Media, thank you so much for running this game. And thank you to these players for putting up with our bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!